Well, hi everybody. Unfortunately for you, we're back. This is
Hello, hello.
Monza. Yeah, hi. That one's Ilya. This one is Matt. We're at Monza, and something has changed. I can't quite tell what.
Probably the sunlight. Actually, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
different time of day.
yes,
I never saw that shadow of the lighting rig before.
yes. Anyway, we are in season 2 of Conelanders League. We are
Woo!
start new 4-week season, another short one, and we. Christ.
I'm
we
sorry.
we
I'm
are
immature.
in Mazda MX-5 Cup, the Miata, the one without a roof, the one without any horsepower. Basically, still slow, but at least there's some wind in our helmets.
Yes, and at least it's made by a company whose highlight vehicle isn't a terrible hybrid. Ooh, nice drift view there. We're going to take you to the grid. First, just an overlay of what will soon be the Monza circuit, as they're putting in a new chicane. Conelander, Star Cone Dodger is up first, and someone's in second.
Sharky was second, Master is third, followed by Gunsers.
Servatis picks up P5. Mr. Bob, P6. Is he new?
Yep. I'm starting P7, right in front of Noah.
And then Disc Golfer, another new guy, and DJOMP in 10th.
Gemini starts just outside top 10, followed by Hollow Moose.
I love his livery. Marzine in 13th, and Hello Kitty in P14. That's cute.
That's horrible. 2-5 starts in P15, P16 is for Skaters, one of those.
Rebel Cowboy in P17, Kara Taylor in 18th. And is that it?
Yeah, that's our grid for this season. Basically, the rules changed a bit. Instead of having a sprint and feature race, first we have 2 heat races. We have around 36-ish drivers in total this season. And the top 9 from each heat make it to the feature race. So this is the best of the bunch. Not everybody qualified for this race, so we expect...
So we're never going to see Shadow Wolf again.
Christ.
As the lights are flashing from the cars, will the lights flash on the track?
Not yet. Anyway, this is supposed to be closer racing, higher competitiveness, and
Cleaner.
heat races are supposed to provide points, but feature race provides points as well, so higher point payout for every position, so it's gonna be a fight till the end everywhere. Also, there is a new rule about weight balance. Basically, there is a ballast for every car at the start of the season, extra 50 kilos in each car, and top 3 spots in each heat will get additional 5, 10 and 15 kilos, and the last 3 spots of each heat race get -5, -10 and -15 kilos for the next weekend. That is supposed to slow fast guys down and bring slow guys up, so we're gonna balance ourselves out towards the end, and maybe we'll see more winners throughout this season.
See, the problem with me is no matter how many of those kilos you removed, 5 is never going to be enough to get me competitive. Anyway, the cars are revving, the lights are still flashing. Of course, our co-commentator is, trolling people as we have red lights on. Still no sequence, and we're green! Cone Dodger getting a decent start, so did Sharky, so did Patrick, so did pretty much everybody. It looks like a pretty static grid so far. The soon-to-be X-First chicane beckons. Who's going to screw up? Who's going to crash? Who's going to completely kill themselves? Let's find out.
Cars make it to the first chicane, some go wide,
Like
some
you.
go rubbing.
Like you.
Clean-ish so far. Oh no, we have a crash behind. I see Kira Taylor.
Oh god,
I
it's
saw
Hello Kitty.
Watson and Dijam. In that crash, Sharky got tagged because he's down to 5th place. As he goes side by side with me, Servatis is behind. Cone Dodger and Maestro took off with Gunsis. Trying to go side by side with Maestro. Sharky is pulling side by side with me. Side by side. Oh, Gunsis tags Maestro.
Oh boy.
There's gonna be a clone.
Oh!
Everybody goes into Maestro. There's a little bit side by side here.
Здравствуйте, Bunchieski.
We see a little bit of disc golfer's perspective. There's a lot of dust back there.
It's like Euro 2016.
Gunsis rejoins far back, and I don't see Sharky anywhere. And the timing table shows
16.
Sharkey 16th, so
17.
that was not optimal.
No.
As Kira Taylor back there goes a little bit onto the grass.
Shane Van Gisbergen style. Cooling the tires.
A lot of, I think that's 3 wide behind there.
Something like that,
I'm
yeah.
not sure, that's a long straight and the camera is actually good for once. So we can see a lot of cars at once. Oh, Kira Taylor goes a little bit of grass right. And Mr. Bob just assaulted his own vehicle. Went straight into the inside wall on Ascari as I heard Matt mutiny his microphone. Because he is apparently dying of laughter right here, right now. We see at least 2 sets of cars going too wide as we go to the replay of turn 1 from Martin's perspective on the helicopter cam.
It looks pretty clean so far. You go a little bit wide, but nothing too horrible. And then it just all bottles up. DJ gets tagged after being slow, and then everyone kind of crashes into everyone.
Martin is still going this side, the wrong way.
Ugly. So here's what happened with the leaders. Now this is, or is this what happened with the leaders, or are we gonna cut away? Let's see. Sharkey, a little bit slow,
Sharkey
holds it inside line for Ponchik.
And Maestro tags him and spins him.
Not really spun him. There really wasn't anything Maestro could have done there. It was so
Here's
close.
The second chicane. As Sharkey goes inside, I go a little bit wide. Gunses slows himself down as Sharkey... Yeah, he got caught. There were like 4 cars around him. And he got nowhere to go. He tries to turn himself around. The gravel doesn't help.
Worst flick spin ever.
As...
Ooh!
Martin... What in the fuck was that?
That's an opportunity that you're going to have to edit, as we see Mr. Bob losing it just all on his own. Didn't take anybody with him, thankfully, as the camera shows us a nice view of the foliage. So, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for Sharkey to win from there.
From 17th, yes, that's going to be...
You know, at this point, if I was looking to win the season, I'd play it tactical. I'd stay in 17th, get the weight ballast bonus.
You don't get weight changes in the feature race. It's heat race only.
Oh, crap. Okay, it's
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty almost says hello to the wall.
Is bumping and rubbing with Kira Taylor right there. Car number 22 right behind Gunsen 25. See, these liveries are more personally more easy to distinguish than the previous ones.
Yeah, I'll probably learn them all by the end of the season, only to have everyone change theirs and I forget it all over again. Goons is on the inside of 25 there. A little bit of rubbing, but not...
Throws it inside, kinda aggressively, but still success. Spooky Squid and Hello Kitty car gets a little bit cut by Gunses as he's side by side with Gem Knight right there. Gunses is side by side with Kira Taylor as well. Spooky Squid slots in behind, probably to get some draft, and a lot of a draft right before the second chicane.
Yeah, definitely an interesting fight going on further down the field. It looks like, just judging from the timing screens, we have usual service, Cone Dodger up ahead, Ponchik just a few seconds behind. What is unusual is you doing well in P3, then Noah, Servatis, and DJ. Rebel Cowboy S&M, who had a quite adventurous final race of the first season, just overtaking someone there in P12, respectable position.
As behind the Moose is side by side with Gem Knight, as we see Goons is being cut a little bit by Kira Taylor. Nothing major, as well as...
I keep thinking you're saying Kira Knightley.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Yeah.
As 2-5 goes side by side, that's gonna be a fun run in Ascari.
What pronunciation was that of Ascari?
Italian.
Yeah, it sounded more American. Ascari. Or
Ascari.
Mamma mia, Ascari.
That was Flavio Briatore as 4 cars managed to go, one behind another, clean through Ascari. Somebody, I think it's Gem Knight, went a little bit too wide, kicking up gravel, but again, nothing major. This is a camera where I'm not quite sure what is going on. Ooh. It's a long pan, a lot of cars seemingly going some, and there is Sharkey. He is right there, one straight behind the mid-pack.
God. Entering Mark Webber's corner.
Gunsis went wide.
Yeah.
And there is AstroTurf on the outside, and unlike in real life, this stuff actually slides you and slows you down a lot. So unlike in real life, the concrete runoff is still a penalty.
Mm.
As we're gonna have a side-by-side entry, maybe even too wide, too deep into Prima Variante.
Almost 3 wide. It sounds like my last party. And Spooky Squid goes for a move, and 25 gets bumped by Keira Knightley. And Spooky Squid bumps Keira Knightley.
Moose propels Keira. Oh, almost got Mr. Bob there as there is a mid-race donut.
You haven't won yet, son. Keep going. To finish first you must finish. And you ain't gonna finish if you keep driving like that.
Tell Kimi that. Cervantes has the inside line against Noah. Clean Roger chicane from both of them. Cervantes gets P4 in this exchange. Holy Moose goes side by side again, this time with Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob will have the inside line. Moose will try to force the issue here. Not quite fast enough, and around the outside goes Mr. Bob.
And Sharky right behind them in 16th, also known as the best position. Daniel Kvyat will manage with the Toro Rosso. As we're now looking at 25 again. This has been a hot little battle here. Adizu, what is that?
Something Latvian. I think Latvian chips.
Adizu, gonna be
as our resident Latvian Gunsis, he's trying to gain that 8th position in a battle with 2-5 here. 2-5 will have the inside once again in Ascari, but it's Ascari, so anything can happen.
Yeah, and the bad thing is the last time a Latvian tried to take something, the USSR said no. But he pulls it off in this case. I don't know if 2-5 got out of shape. Yeah, it looks like he got out of shape there, because that was... he could have defended that quite easily.
A little bit of corner cut here from the Moose, but again, it's Ascari, so cutting the corner here is okay. I do love this camera angle in F1, though. It just... the combination of the cars flying around that corner with this camera. Yeah, unfortunately, in anything slower than F1, it takes about 3 minutes to get this shot done. Yes. God, there is the joke there, but I will not mention it. As we pan to our leaders... Well, you already dropped the F-bomb, so why not talk about it? As Maestro Ponchi goes for the inside line in Prima Variante, Cone will try to... no, he slots behind, and there is a lead change here on lap 4. I just noticed the side of his car. He's not going to let that one go anytime soon, is he? Oh no. As we see the, well, interesting line chosen by Rebel Cowboy. And how much it hurt him. The gravel really slows you down. Yeah, it's just, it's undesirable. Holy Moose sliding a little bit there. Thankfully, the runoff is, well, there, so you can just go there and say, hey, whatever. Yeah, don't get me started on the tarmac runoff there. Mr. Bob, though, was able to get a run on it, Rebel Cowboy, after that little fiasco. But apparently... it should have it done. Probably, unless Rebel throws it around the outside. And Rebel's been quite aggressive, so you never know. We'll see. Mr. Bob doesn't have space anymore to cut him off. So it's going to be side by side with a little bit of a draft. If Rebel Cowboy can hold on to it here, he will have the inside into turn 2. He has it. Mr. Bob. Nope. Oh, too slow as he gets tagged by Mr. Bob, and the rest helped him go the right way around. Exactly. Two things were going to happen there. Either, well, what we just saw, or he was... hello, HRT. And... was it Liuzzi that did that? I can't remember. Yes, it was. Yes, it was Liuzzi who played bowling with, I believe it was Petrov and someone else. Yeah. And, yeah... Cervantes did another one of his trademark spins, but this time he tried to take Noah with him. Mm-hmm. That increased the gap of top 3 to the rest, as we see this live. Is what we saw earlier. Yeah, that was the replay we saw earlier. As we continue to see it, that's going to be side by side with Miss Sharka tries to force the issue and actually overtakes both of them. Oh, okay then. Yep. So now I know why we were re-watching this replay. I was kind of confused there for a second. So Sharky back up to 14th. Let's see how much higher he can get. Mandatory pit stops still a thing, I assume? Yes, that stayed the same. And this is Monza, so the question of tires is even more important because I think with a bit of aggressive approach, the tires would be at around 45 to 50% by the end of the race. And that's from total annihilation, so they were quite slidey. So there was another choice of changing the tires at your pit stop, as we see Keir Taylor being attacked by Sharkey in second Lesmo, side by side. I don't know if there was Robin, but Sharkey should have a comfortable win here, as Mr. Bob will try to salvage something from this situation.
Well, a comfortable overtake. I'm not so sure about a comfortable win. We'll have to wait and see on that one.
Well, it's Sharkey.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be... It has the makings of one of those really interesting races where you have action all up and down the field. You have a top runner who gets punted back and has to recover. Now all we need is a mechanical failure or two up in the front, and we got ourselves one tasty experience. Speaking of tasty things, Goons has fancied a bite out of, well, whoever the hell this is with the Five Guys logo.
Speaking of... Yeah, speaking of tasty, this one's not. Five Guys sponsoring D-Jump for this season.
You know, I've had their burgers a couple of times. They're pretty decent, but it's not something I could live off of. This Cone is trying to take his position back from Ponchik. Ponchik doing his best aggressive Russian love tap-ish thing.
Pushes him into gravel.
That wasn't very sporting. Then again, he's Russian, so he doesn't know the definition.
Truth. And regarding his livery, I was mainly in charge of making liveries, so I'm not letting it slide. He's getting a rookie tag for the rest of his life.
That explains things. Now that really explains things.
As you see, the rookies are separated. There's a slight black and yellow warning tape on the front and rear bumper for the rookies, so everybody can see what's going on around them and be aware. And
know to prepare Uranus.
Yes, however, Maestro is no longer a rookie because he finished in top 3. The
fact that he was named a rookie at all is stupid, as we're going to see Sharky here. Slicing and dicing his way with Keira Knightley. I think the last time I saw her slicing and dicing was one of the Pirates of the Caribbeans, or their various parody pornos. And Sharky, will he have the... Okay, this is the overtake we saw.
Yeah,
a little bit of a tap, but
yeah,
nothing
that
bad.
was a tap. As we see, before the side-by-side in turn 1 happened, I assume that was the move that put Cone back in front of Maestro.
Lock up there.
A little bit of a sideways movement. Maestro has the inside here, but I assume Cone will have a run and inside line through Parabolica.
There's got to be some sort of mistake here from them, because otherwise they wouldn't have ended up side by side going into the first corner.
Maybe if Maestro overdrives it a bit, the Miata is still able to hold the outside line in Parabolica without shitting itself half the way through.
As we're about to see.
This is exactly what we're seeing. Shorter exit from Cone Dodger, but faster line by Maestro, and that's what we saw coming on turn 1. That's how side-by-side happened.
Cool. So we're gonna jump to Hello Kitty.
Another replay as Spooky Squid disregards the Prima Variante, opting for the rally chicane instead.
Yep. No harm, no foul. Actually, a smart solution to run off there. Nah,
well, as we saw by a live example by Cervadis, the curbs are not exactly the best way to cut the chicane there.
No, not at all. Unless you fancy facing the wrong way. Let's see, where is this? Gunsa actually doing pretty good for both of them. Yeah, doing pretty well. Cervadis up in 5th, Golfer in 4th, Year nowhere to be seen in 3rd. And then we have the top 2. So it's going to get really interesting when it comes down to pit strategy, like you said, with the tires. I can almost see the ideal, well, I could see the ideal being no tires, just take fuel. But I could see Sharky trying to do the tire stuff. I mean, he's fast enough, and if he can get the extra grip, I don't know.
Though when he spun, he was 35 seconds behind. Now behind me that is, and I'm not that far behind Maestro and Cone. Now the gap is, well, it changed because it's unreliable as hell, but it was 25 seconds, so it's basically 10-second gain. I don't think he's fast enough. Oh! Rebel and Kira crashed in Ascari, and there's a second casualty of the...
Kira looked like he just drove straight at... Yep. Just drove straight into Rebel.
Didn't see him, and yeah, got penalized instantly for that.
How do you not see Keira Knightley? She has a decent rack. Actually, no, it was Keira Knightley who didn't see, probably because her decent rap was in her way. Anyway, here we see the resuming battle for the lead, as Cone tries to take the inside, but once again gets forced off the road by a Russian. I've seen the way they drive from their dash cams. Standard par for course sort of thing.
A bit of a slide on the exit by Cone Dodger, but he stays behind, as we see Hello Kitty fighting his way through the back, this time against Gemini. This is for 8th. I don't know what accent that was, but anyway.
it's like Valley Girl. Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
Okay,
no.
so I'm gonna comment like this. So we see Spooky Squid. He's up in front. I'm gonna stop.
Yes, please.
The Holy Moose is getting a run. I love what you did with his livery with the sign. Signs you see all over Finland. He's got to run around the outside. Or, well, soon to be Canada, I guess, with the law they passed. And is he going to get it? Wow, I didn't think he was actually going to make anything
Probably
of it, but...
he is on the inside, unless Gem just cuts him, which he does. I think...
Overshoot.
Oh, but that's why he did cut him, because he overshot the corner, conceded, and Sharky is going to use that. Thank you very much. That's another free position for him. And he's back in top 9, top half.
There you go. So, pit stops have not begun yet. I haven't seen anybody eccentric flying down or up the field.
It's gonna start, and there's Cadus, who's a lap down. He started from pit lane.
Just got out of everyone's way. I thought he was going off there, but I think he just tried to stay out of people's way.
Yep.
Smart move, as the battle for the lead, well, it never really was off, so I can't say resumed. Continues, I guess.
Yeah, the full tank can last you 8 laps if you save fuel. So this should be the start of a pit window for most of the people, lap 6, lap 7.
The top 2 and Sharky are definitely not saving fuel, so they'll probably be some of the earliest people in. As probably, these guys are going another... Nope.
Cone juked Maestro and went for an undercut. That's interesting.
Well, it's really only going to be an undercut if he gets new tires. If he just adds fuel, he'll actually be slower based on weight. So...
We'll see, and right behind him, I am also going for the pit stop. Actually, on the timing and scoring screen, you can see how many... who's beaten when and where, which is also useful. As another one of Cervantes' self spins.
Yeah.
As he smartly gets out of the way of Noah here, and did jump. As we see overtake... Yeah, Sharky overtook Holy Moose as well. He was behind him. Or didn't overtake. Holy Moose goes a little bit wide. He'll have a messed up entry. Sharky is on the inside.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it.
There you go.
A little bit, but really he was going to get the position one way or another.
It's a Scary. As
well,
we cut back to
Sharky, he would have gotten the pass done. I'm going to guess Sharky's going to come in now.
Yeah, we'll see.
But Holy Moose might fuck this. Holy Moose might mess this up.
Cone Dodger, me, Noah, D-Jump, Spooky Squid, the Holy Moose are in the pits. Gunster's Disc Golfer, 2-5 and Mr. Bob and Martin pitted earlier. I assume that would be lap 5. See quite a few people in the pits as I'm leaving the pit lane, right behind Sharky.
Yep.
So
what is the penalty for not pitting? Disqualification?
You don't finish.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a time penalty or a disqualification, so I was wondering. Part of me was like, could he do what I think he might try?
No, you cannot. You won't have enough fuel. Plain and simple. If the
miracles can happen.
If your fuel with tire fuel saving lasts about 8 laps, you cannot stretch it to 12. As
fuel with tire saving is a good strategy.
As we see Rebel Cowboy and Kira Taylor also on pit lane right about now. So we have Maestro, Cervantes, Sharky, Gemini, and Kaidos that opted for a later pit stop.
I'm surprised that Sharky's able to take a later pit stop because he's been going like a bat out of hell. I mean, unless he's really just that much faster, he doesn't need to turn the engine up.
The car should be able to last 7 laps even in Madman mode.
It really is that marginal between fuel saving and full out.
It's Monza.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a freaking Miata.
Maybe. I don't know. Meanwhile, the Moose takes the position from 2-5 that was 4-12.
Cool.
As I assume he's gonna pit right about now. He was pushing hard, so no way he can make it another lap without running out of fuel. There he goes.
I would have loved if you had said that and then he just stayed out. That would have made my friggin' day.
Nope. As he's on the pit lane, there is a gap of about 25 seconds between him and Cone Dodger.
Well, let's see what he does. Does he go for tires or does he just take fuel?
We will never know, because it's not animated. That looked like a quick stop, so I assume there were no tires involved. Cervantes pits behind him as well. We're gonna see where he rejoins. He was very close, right in front of Cone Dodge, and Cone is nowhere to be seen. There he is.
Cone took tires.
Cone either took tires or messed something up, as Maestro doesn't care about that white line. Once again, shame on you, Maestro. Shame on you.
Yeah, yell at them in Russian or something.
See,
anyway.
Sharky and Gemini beaten as well as Kaitis. Sharky rejoins. Let's see where he goes behind this golfer, and Noah should be able to pass him before turn 1. And no, next is D-Jump, but he's too far behind, so Sharky should slot.
He still gained ground. He still gained like 2 positions.
He gained 1 position from that. Yes.
1? Okay, that was 2.
Yes, he was 9th, I believe.
So there you go. But yeah, that gap between Cone and Master didn't look big enough for a mistake. I'm guessing tires. It'll definitely be interesting to see. I mean, Cone's problem really wasn't catching up to Mastro, it was getting past. And that's not going to be any easier with new tires. I mean, if he defends, he defends.
It depends, some extra grip at the exit of maybe Parabolica or somewhere might help.
Could do.
If there is some sliding involved, that might be the difference, and that's maybe what he went for. Or maybe he just screwed up and there were no new tires. That's a possibility.
We will never know.
But yeah, we can see now that the pit window has closed, everybody made their required pit stop, and unless something goes really wrong, it should stay that way, as Sharky is already right behind Noah. Sharky is a man on the mission.
Yep. How far do you think he can go? 4 laps he's got, in 8 laps he went from 18th to 7th.
Well,
he could still, technically in that sense, he could win. I don't know if he's going to be able to get much past Cervantes.
I don't think so. The gap from Sharky to Maestro is 27 seconds. It's still big. But I see the gap from Sharky to Gunses in 4th is 6 seconds. And if he gets 1.5 seconds a lap, I don't see why not. Maybe 4th. There is a big gap between 3rd and 4th. And there is a big gap between first 2 and 3rd. So I assume there will be no changes there unless something goes really wrong, as Sharky goes for the inside line into Parabolica. Well, actually, he is fast. He's probably fast enough to... No, I should shut up because he's not fast enough, but he will have the inside line into Parabolica. Noah doesn't argue much because, well, it's Sharky. He is faster than you.
Bring him the white visor.
As we switch to Mr. Bob, he's in 14th right now, right behind 2.5. Will he try a move? He looks up the inside, but not yet.
I gotta say, 2.5 has really been at the heart of a lot of the action in this race. Even if he's not actually the one performing said actions, he's on the camera. You're very photogenic, 2.5.
So yeah, a little bit about Mr. Bob as we're watching him here. He is the guy that beat Maestro in latest month's Dirt Rally League.
That's still going on?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Nobody's covering that anyway. Definitely not us. We don't have time, sorry. But yes, Mr. Bob beat
I have
Maestro.
a life and Ilya has something.
Oh, shut up. You don't have a life. I'm not arguing that I don't. And that's another cut by Hello Kitty. This time the kitty got rammed from behind.
Oh god.
As we return is 2.5 attempts an overtake on
Again,
Gemini.
we're not in Canada.
No, that would be Terrence and Phil. 2.5 will try to have the inside line into Roger.
Or the Middle East.
Christ. Anyway, Mr. Bob overtook Maestro in Dirt Rally, and he showed up in Assetto Corsa as a rookie. What in the fuck are you all smoking? He's not a rookie.
You're gonna have a lot of work to do in the editing booth. Anyway.
I don't even give a crap. Escadas gets out of everyone's...
I don't care.
Mr. Bob and 2.5 are still side by side. I think 2.5 was side by side, but with Gemnet when this all started. And now Gemnet found himself behind them.
As I was saying, he's always on the camera.
I don't know what happened, but a second Lesmo, 2-5 has the inside line. Mr. Bob pulls wide, as Gemnite will try to reclaim his side of a 2 wide, going into Ascari. Or maybe not. Or maybe he's gonna start.
Was helped by 2-5 there.
Maybe that's gonna be a little bit of a 3 wide. But no, that's 2 wide. This time between Mr. Bob and Gemnite. What the hell is going on there?
I'm puckering my ass.
Mr. Bob goes for the inside. Gem Lukes, but not quite. 2-5 will have the inside. Side by side into Ascari. Not quite. Gemnite still has his line here. He's gonna challenge 2-5 going into Parabolica. Mr. Bob is still in front, but these two will try to have half a draft each. 2-5 slots behind, but he will have a draft. And who's behind? I think that Skate is behind them all.
Cadis is behind them. He's mixed up in all of this.
He should not challenge anything. 2-5 doesn't have a run here, but he'll have draft into Prima Variante. Everybody came out alive after that. But looking at the timing screen, Cone is 2 seconds behind Maestro. He might still catch up. He has 2.5 laps probably to do that. And I see Guns
Shark is P6.
Shark is P6, 7 seconds behind Servatis. And Gunsis is 5 seconds behind me and closing the gap quite rapidly.
And we know how slow you are.
There might be a fight for the podium at the end of a race.
It'll be fun.
Oh, yes.
As we see 25 getting a little bit slippy there.
We see a
sort of like NASA's budget.
D-Jump and the Moose. That's coming up to Parabolica.
There's going to be an oopsie.
Maybe. Or Whole Moose pulls an overtake, but overdrives it once again. Onto the AstroTurf. D-Jump goes for the inside line. He's going to be faster. And somehow this still ends up in a side-by-side into Prima Variante. D-Jump goes wide. Has nowhere to go, really, from there. Concedes the position to Moose. Goes clean. Goes safe.
Yep. Clean and safe is the way to deal with a Moose. As we see Noah here going on the inside of Disc Golfer, but he'll have the outside for the second part of the chicane. Let's see how it pans out. He's got the position, gets a little bit of a tap, but really nothing either of them could do. Takes the position and moves on with his life. As we see 25 once again on the screen with Caduceus behind him. I'm thinking up of new names for everybody. It's quite fun.
Let's see if it's fun for them in comments.
Oops.
As Moose almost spins out, saves it, but loses position to D-Jump once again. Something tells me it's not over yet. As we see Disc Golfer trying to regain what was his, that would be P7.
I've come for what is mine.
As we see a Hello Kitty car kicking up dust and gravel behind them.
Sharky Servatis is going to get interesting soon.
Probably, yeah, just 3 seconds and 2 laps to go, so Sharky has to gun it fast. As we see a replay from Gemnite as he went a little bit wide, caught a little bit of gravel, and right into the barrier he goes.
Oops.
Has to stay there, a lot of cars passing by. Yeah, he can't pull back onto the racing surface. He does a smart thing, lets people by.
He was on the racing surface, but he couldn't flick spin it, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's Miata. It's Miata. You can flick it.
Miata.
Wow.
Well, okay, this is a modern Miata, so it probably has 3,000 extra pounds in it of health and safety stuff.
And a driver. So you cannot flick spin it. Someone else maybe.
Well, but then again, I make a good center of gravity, so everything just spins around me.
That's not center, that's slightly further behind. Unless your leg is as heavy as the rest of you. Which I doubt.
One of the 3.
Walked right into that one.
Yes, you did.
Anyway, we pad back to our leaders as
in both meanings of the phrase.
Let's not go there ever again. As we look at Cone Dodger, who is right on the rear bumper on Maestro. That's
from third legs to being on the rear, and he's flashing the lights.
Flashing the lights.
He's doing the V8 thing.
I assume he's honking. No, actually, he's not honking the horn. There's no horn in this car. That was a thing in GT86. Cone would sexually and verbally and physically assault his horn throughout the entire race, but this time He can.
I'm just imagining.
Sexual
This
assault
guy
on
coming
the
behind
road.
you.
Yep, this golfer goes around the outside. I assume that's before the Roger, before second chicane. He'll have the inside line. No, we'll have to hang on to the outside. We'll see. No, that's a little bit too much of a speed difference as this golfer reclaims P7.
It's definitely going to be tight between, well, all three of the big guys. Ponchik and Dodger are going to have a real hard battle for the lead going into the final lap, and Servatis and Sharkey. Sharkey hasn't really closed the gap all that much, so he might just be content with P6. Maybe he'll push the issue with
Who's
Servatis. I don't
closing
know.
the gap is Gunses, the gap that was
Ooh,
one.
ooh,
Oh,
ooh, oh.
D-Jump and the Holy Moose decided to go a little bit dirt rally on our asses. That ended up in D-Jump losing out. 5 guys are slow. We're back to Cone Dodger.
I've seen their cooks, it's true.
There's still a bit of a gap between those as they're about to be waved white flag this time around. Yeah, the gap between me and Gunses was 5 seconds last lap. Now it's 2.5, really 2.8 here. That's gonna be a fun last lap. One mistake and that's gonna be a fight. Sharky is within 2 seconds of Servatis, at least he was before it changed again. Unreliable Assetto Corsa timing.
I'm not sure it's unreliable or not, but it just accounts for the concertina that happens when you go in and out of corners. I don't think it's unreliable. I think it's actually quite accurate.
It wasn't that much reliable.
Well, the last one was operator error on your part.
Oh yes.
Syncing the timings.
Yeah, this one is synced for once.
Shock horror.
Yeah, anyway, we continue looking at what's going on between Maestro and Cone Dodger. This is the last lap, and if Cone wants to make something happen, he better hurry the hell up.
Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. Oh, and God, he's got one hell of a run out of that thing.
The Roger.
Thank you.
Now
Lesbo 1 is done. Into Lesbo 2. Or wow.
Don't worry, within the league we call them Lesbos. They're quite distracting as well.
And ugly and very masculine. Great time to pan away there from the camera. Though I guess we can go pseudo live. Mr. Bob there, well, finding the ambulance access road, so.
And fighting 2-5 right in front of him after the first chicane.
He's on the camera again. This is gonna get interesting.
Back into the fight, we just have Ascari and Parabolica left in this race.
Michael Jackson popcorn gif.
Christ. As Cone will not try anything fancy here, but he will try to have a better run compared to Maestro. Maestro is a little bit wide, doesn't cut. I think Cone has a run. He is still in the draft. He pulls out of a draft, goes side by side with Maestro. He has the speed. He has the inside line, and I think he's pulling away. As we see me and Gunses, there is quite a bit of a gap. I don't think that's enough for one corner. Maestro tries a move around the outside. He is still side by side. No, he overdrives it, and Cone Dodger gains the position. Maestro is slow. He won't be able to get back into the fight. And Cone Dodger wins the race in the last corner in Monza. Cone won something, finally. As we
go back to 25.
Go back to that whole cluster in the mid-pack. As I finished 3rd, what a surprise. Gunses finished 4th, Servatis finishes 5th. As we see 2-5 and Mr. Bob fighting.
Oops. A little bit of a lock there from 2-5.
Somewhere back there. A little bit slow.
I can see this ending in a
Rebel Cowboy
crash.
tries to make a move. As Rebel Cowboy goes into the wall. Back on the track. Oh, right behind Kira, almost taking him with him.
That would have been a trip to the hospital.
Somehow the car stays intact. 2-5 has a draft on Mr. Bob. They won't go side by side, but 2-5 might have a crossover in the last turn. Quite far behind, but there's still a little bit of a run from Parabolica to the start-finish line.
He's sponsored by NASA. He doesn't have the money to succeed. He'll stay behind Mr. Bob.
Yeah, I think that's set. Mr. Bob saves the position. 2-5 finishes behind Kira Taylor. Behind them, there is Rebel Cowboy. He salvaged something from after that crash. As we go to the winner of the race, Conelanders. That's the first time Sharky didn't win a race.
USA. So Cone Dodger finally wins something. Master Ponchik in second, followed by Simidiot, Gunsus in P4, Servatus fifth. Sharky manages to salvage sixth after a very poor start. Disc Golfer, and then some other people.
The rest of them include D-Jump in 11th, Mr. Bob 12, followed by 2-5, Kier Taylor, Rebel Cowboys and B, Gemini 657, Martin 224, and Kaidas finishing a lap behind. That concludes first week. We had some heat races with some point payouts as well. So the final table after week 1 looks like this.
Cone Dodger in the first place. Yay, Cone. Ponchik in second, Gunsus, Sharky Georgian, Servatus Noah, Disc Golfer, and then 2 rookies, Mr. Bob and D-Jump. D-Jump was in the last season.
He was, but you can be a rookie for 2 seasons unless you get a podium or win the rookie championship.
Okay, so anyway, that was fun, that was exciting, that was hectic, that was crazy. And that was it for this commentary. I've been Matt, this has been Ilya, unfortunately for you.
See you guys next time at
Peace.
Silverstone, and goodbye.
Wait, Silverstone, nice.